Hi, you've joined this webinar because you understand that your consumer's path to purchase is filled with a lot of challenges. So I'm here to help you with top strategies to closing the gap of the consumer's path to purchase and ultimately increasing your sales. My name is Jaclyn Beazly, and I'm Sales and Marketing Manager for Tastings.com. Now, Tastings.com is the #1 site for independent professional reviews of wines, beers, and spirits. And I am so excited to be talking with you today about your consumer's path to purchase. So let's get started. I've built my career around creating solutions for products with sales problems. I know what you might be thinking. A sales problem? I don't have a sales problem. But wines, beers, and spirits are a consumable product. Every brand wants more retail shelf space, more sales, and every brand wants to enjoy more increased margin or more increased distribution, right? If it's not achieving growth across any of these, then there's a sales problem. So today, I'm going to focus on giving you strategies and tips that you can use to help solve some of these sales problems and saving you both time and money along the way. I'm going to go into detail as we go along with steps and resources that will definitely help you. But first, let me just get to the punchline. The #1 solution to close the gap on your consumer's path to purchase and increasing your sales is to create a sales ecosystem. Every tool that I'll mention to you in achieving this will reinforce how a sales ecosystem is the best strategy for your brand. Now, the #1 solution to increasing your sales is creating this sales ecosystem. But what does that mean? What it means is that you're using a fully integrated multi-channel approach to reach your customers. And this isn't a strategy that only big budgets can afford. With the right planning, this multi-channel approach can be created by any size producer or any size stakeholder, big or small. And before I begin, I always like to start off my presentations with stating 2 truths. I state these 2 truths because it wakes everyone up. And that's exactly what an effective ecosystem does too. So let's shake things up in your universe by establishing 2 truths. 1, that we are all salespeople, and 2, that we live in a media convergence. Now, we are all salespeople, and the word sales has different meanings to different people, but in the end, you cannot ignore that we are all social beings that spend a significant amount of time in our life persuading, influencing, and inspiring others. And that's sales. Frida Poli, a neuroscientist and entrepreneur, said, "Your success will be determined by how well you can overcome hardship." So by accepting the truth that you and everyone in your brand pipeline is a salesperson for your brand, will help acknowledge the challenges that lie ahead for everyone involved, and how you can tailor solutions that will work towards better outcomes for the ecosystem. As a salesperson, you care about what, where, and when consumers see your brand. It is essential to know where the opportunities are to communicate with consumers. But the second truth is that we all live in this media convergence. We all have cell phones in our pockets and purses. In fact, there are over 2 billion cell phones on this earth. More consumers are connected through a range of devices with more access to information like no other time in history. That is a convergence. But consumers don't care about where to find your brand. They don't want to look for it. They just want to see it. So if you're not optimized and reaching your consumer on his desktop, in his grocer, on his mobile phone, on the shelf of his local pub, he isn't seeing you. You have to be anti-silo. You have to be accessible and ready with your message. A consumer takes 2 minutes and 40 seconds to make a purchasing decision. So marketing across these multiple channels to expand your reach gets you closer to customers within their paths to purchase. Now that you know these two important truths, let's do a deep dive into how knowing these truths ultimately helps execute the ecosystem strategy. I have 3 steps for you on how to create a sales ecosystem. 1. Use a bottom-up method. 2. Receive endorsements. And 3. Infiltrate your message. To put these steps into action, we have to make one assumption about ourselves. I'm assuming my audience for this webinar are wine, beer, and spirits producers or stakeholders that already have a go-to-market strategy. Because using this Path to Purchase webinar isn't about how to market your product. It's about leveraging your existing go-to-market plan. You know your product the best. I'll explain how these 3 steps of using a bottom-up method, receiving endorsements, and infiltrating your message will motivate you to increase sales, saving you money along the process and saving you time overall. So, I'm going to assume that you have already done your homework, that you know exactly what your markets are and how you will be targeting them. So let's take a product example. If you have a savory mushroom flavored vodka, then based on demographics research you've already done, you've launched your vodka in highly ethnic food cities with emerging populations like San Francisco, Nashville, Chicago, Atlanta. You chose to focus with on-premise accounts like chef-driven restaurants that want to experiment or exclusive bars with one-of-a-kind menus. I'm assuming that you set the vodka retail price and planned out a promotion calendar, maybe like $8 martinis with a free coaster and your recipe on the back. And your channel activation has plans set up for tastings or classes with a buyback program, teaching your accounts how to sell your vodka. Buybacks are an essential tool in today's marketplace because emphasizing an educational component to both trade and consumer will deliver sales results better than offering en masse. For a deep dive into how to run a successful buyback program, you should visit trade.tastings.com. Read my blog article. I will offer you tips and examples in a step-by-step guide on a successful buyback program. But how does this mushroom vodka now close the gap and increase sales? It uses my first step, a bottom-up marketing method. This means it creates its own demand ahead of supply. It's also a forward-looking approach rather than a top-down model, which is backward-looking. Here, you will focus on the performance of individual accounts that carry your vodka. What does it matter to you if your vodka is flying off the shelves? Ask yourself. Well, it matters a lot. So get behind the accounts that are best suited to grow, or build a new lead for yourself and focus all your energy behind it. Get your vodka into the hearts, hands, and minds of that account. Your vodka will be so delicious in that $8 martini that we talked about because it's only $8. It doesn't burden your customer with cost to experience it, making repurchasing it easier and faster, and ultimately brings back more customers to your top account, which your account will love you for. Here you should highlight an early adopter discount with the restaurant. Then, over time, as demand increases, increase your margin. You will have demonstrated your product's value, and the bar will intuitively understand you're a vodka it can't afford to lose. Influencers also work well within this bottom-up method. Empowering one of your favorite bartenders to use it in a cocktail, maybe best paired with the chef's risotto that night, will highlight its value. And aspirations from other bars will follow because of the bartender's own influencer network. A bottom-up method also means that you group together a small marketing budget for a press and blogger dinner. Capture them together for one evening. Pick the people who you personally would want to have dinner with so that it's easy to have open and honest conversations about your brand story. And as one side tip, don't cheap out on the invitation. A first impression is sometimes all that matters. So use a good design and get it out there. A free design tool that I use is canva.com. It looks really professional and personal, and it'll look great. By applying a bottom-up method, you have enthusiastically sold your product's future. You would have started with a small group of customers who believed in its value and who would have promoted it and convinced others to buy it too. This method can happen quickly and inexpensively, so be prepared for fast uptake. The next step in creating a sales ecosystem is to receive endorsements. Now let's go to that one next. Retailers won't tell you what type of tools help sell a SKU. Why? Because retailers place a major emphasis on the velocity for whatever SKU rests within a single slot. They are all selling real estate to you. So if you're lucky enough to have that one slot, you have to own the success of it. One way to do that is a big product differentiator, and that's points or a score, and that's receiving an endorsement. This provides customers an objective third-party resource. In many cases, professional endorsements are one of the major factors in first getting a retail placement with a buyer. Now, where do you go for an endorsement? I work for a company called Tastings.com, part of the Beverage Testing Institute. So I'm biased towards recommending them, but they will be objective in rating you. They are the only company that tastes wine, beer, and spirits year-round, with even a full range of cider, sake, and mead categories. All products are tasted over small, consistent panels of professional blind judges. They are the most complete tasting program in the U.S. and even set the standard for professional judging as the first wine competition in the U.S. in 1981. I want to reinforce how important endorsements, like those from third parties, are for retail. Consumer research studies have significantly shown 3 major visual cues influence purchasing decisions in store: the label, the price, and the points. AB InBev commissioned a similar study with this finding. Even Deloitte University Press published a shopping behavior report. AB InBev experts found it takes the consumers 2 minutes and 40 seconds to make a purchasing decision. The Deloitte report captured consumers' thoughts from in-depth interviews. Consumers said reviews, especially points, on a specific brand's website don't appear to be genuine. So that means they look elsewhere for authenticity, like a third-party endorsement from Tastings.com. Choose your endorsements wisely. I'd recommend an established publisher with proven methodology. Ask other friendly winemakers, distillers, or brewers for their opinion on a publisher. The Tastings.com program has lived on for over 37 years and over 100,000 product reviews using the same Cornell University designed methodology. And it is sought after for its objective recognition of a brand's quality. Tastings.com also provides a broad range of marketing support, such as point of sale and packaging, shelf talkers, sales displays, and stickers. And it also gives real-life introductions to buyers and distributors, plus digital video production and event activation. Endorsements from trusted journalists and professional sources is absolutely essential to a brand's trust and integrity in the marketplace. Put it this way, if your trusted winemaker or brewer friend recommended the best publisher, wouldn't you want to listen? This finally takes us to the third point about how to build a sales ecosystem, and that is Infiltrate your message. The third tip is infiltrating your message. It's the most important part of your sales ecosystem because it brings you and your consumers together. So get ready to infiltrate this media convergence with people and messages. First, make your brand story authentic, simple, and relevant. Why? Because consumers want to identify with a brand that relates to a value within their own personal life. And your brand story has a very long journey to make across thousands of voices. From your seller master to your distributor to your salesperson or to a journalist. A brand story can become distorted if it's not authentic. So, to infiltrate your message, you can use social media. Now, I'm sure you've heard all this already. You should post content, relevant links, maybe include free giveaways, and promote your achievements or tasting events. But I like to talk about how the most important part of social media is you have to listen. Follow a conversation, and if it warrants, add your own voice to it by commenting on a post. For example, the mushroom flavored vodka we talked about earlier, if you own that brand, you should be highly curious about what influential people are talking about and what they're saying about mushrooms. So search for hashtag mushrooms or hashtag detoxify. Trust me, hashtag detoxify is really popular. Search for it on Instagram or Facebook, and you might find some people talking about a mushroom's health benefits. Well, what do you know? Yoga classes and gyms, they have a crop of people who could be your potential customers. The hashtag mushroom also found me this interesting post about an owl and a mushroom. And look, it got 122,000 engagements on Facebook because, well, it's cute. That's what you want, engagement. It's okay to reuse good ideas. Repost this and share it on your brand page, or just post a clever comment on it and show your followers how clever you can be. If you post it on your page, your followers will think you're pretty cute too. Beyond pictures and connections on social media, infiltrating your message also takes video too. Now, video by far is one of the most important mechanisms for digital marketing, and everyone can be a digital marketer. On mobile alone, more 18 to 49-year-olds watch YouTube in prime time than all the other top 10 TV shows combined. Brands can capture attention on YouTube by tapping into the equity of YouTube video creators, like influencers, through media partnerships much more deeply than on sharing their own content alone. So while you are searching in social media by hashtags or by trends like hashtag detoxify, and you come upon influencers who you think identifies with your product, make a list of them. Connect with them. Send them an email asking for their help. And most people are motivated to help others when they feel appreciated. So flatter these people with their creativity and tell them exactly what you liked about their profile. The outcome you will see here is that video influencers will showcase your product in their video. And other video series can also include point of sale brand stories, maybe by a professional videographer, or Facebook or Instagram live videos from events. But whatever it is, make sure you capture as much as you can on camera. And the final part of infiltrating your message is people. You have to invest in people. Your brand message is only as influential as the messenger who sends it. Don't discount how important feelings are about a brand. People will always remember how your brand made them feel. So keep your message honest, fun, and worthy of respect. Respect and admiration for your mushroom flavored vodka will emerge quickly through bottom-up method marketing. and receiving endorsements. But investing in people to carry your message across the market is key. And all three of these combined are that sales ecosystem. So hire a brand ambassador that not only has the connections you want, but is someone who reflects your consumer audience. Now, this is an important differentiating factor. Don't hire someone who reminds you of you. Hire someone who reminds you of your customers. 99% of the brand ambassador's responsibility is engaging customers. And people want to see themselves reflected back at them, or someone to look up to. And look at Benjamin Franklin here. He lived life on his own terms, questioned authority, and created and supported other people's dreams. He was an ambassador. A characteristic ambassador will do the same and have a sincere interest in learning and listening to other people. So have some fun with them. Well, now that you know how to infiltrate your message effectively, we've finally come to the end. You have learned about my 3 steps on how to create a sales ecosystem. And I hope my webinar has helped you look at your brand journey differently. I hope you've learned a few key tips you can take away to increase sales in that path to purchase gap your consumers are experiencing. So to summarize, we learned that the number 1 strategy to increase sales is creating a sales ecosystem, and you can do this by using the bottom-up method in marketing, which is a targeted focus on specific influential accounts. Receiving endorsements from third parties on your brand to legitimize and promote your credibility. And infiltrating your message, which takes a journey across 3 major channels in social, video, and people. If you'd like to connect with me about this, send me an email, jaclyn@tastings.com, or find me on Twitter at my personal account at LTDReserve or at TastingsBTI, where I am most days with tastings.com. I want to wish you good paths to purchase. I want to wish you good luck.